Hi, this is Nolan from Benchmark, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you how to use the stake numbering feature within FieldGenius to give your staked points a unique point ID. So there's a couple different options here, and I'm going to walk you through all of those. So to begin here, what I've done is I've laid out kind of 5 points just using the simulator willy-nilly here so that I have 5 points to stake to. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to head to the plumb bob in the bottom left corner, and then I'm going to select settings here from the main menu, and then I'm going to go options. And then I'm going to go down to my staking options here, and you're going to see that I have a couple different options for my staked point ID methods. So right now it's selected as next, and that means that the next point ID that I have selected will just automatically be entered as my stored point ID. But what I want to do is I want to make sure that additive is selected here. So if I have the additive option selected, what that allows me to do is it allows me to give a number that will be added to my next ID point number. So in this case, I'm going to give an additive number of 4,000. Then if I hit OK here in the bottom left to save my settings, and then I head back to my map screen here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to change my shot mode from standard measure to staking, and then I'm going to go stake points, and let's just say I'm going to stake 0.2 here. And as I'm on the simulator here, I'm not going to be able to guide myself exactly into 0.2, but if I hit RTK fix to say, yeah, I'm on top of 0.2, it's going to tell me my tolerance is exceeded. Don't worry about that. I'm just in the simulator, so I'm not exactly on my point, but that's okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit save point and raw data. And normally what would have happened is I had 5 points on my screen there. It would have set a point ID of 6, but in this case, because I have point ID 2 and I'm staking with an additive value of 4,000, I'm going to get a point ID of 4,002. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to cancel out of this and show you a different method. So again, I'm going to close out of my staking menu here. I'm going to head to my plumb bob in the bottom left corner, go to settings, options, and then my staking options. And in here, instead of having my additive value selected as my staked point ID method, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select my prefix option. So if I have a prefix value, I can put a prefix in front of the point ID that I'm staking to. So in this case, if I'm staking 0.2, I can put a prefix of stake hyphen, and it will say stake hyphen 2. So again, if I hit OK here, I'm just going to head back to my map screen, change my mode from standard measure to staking, stake points. And then if I hit stake 0.5, it's going to bring me into 0.5. And again, since I'm in the simulator, I can't go plumb up on this point. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit RTK fixed. It's going to tell me my point ID again is exceeded. Doesn't matter. For the point of this video, I just want to show you how this stuff works. And if you look now, my point ID actually says stake-5. So I've staked 0.5. And when I go to export this data, my point ID will be stake-5. And again, what I'm going to do is I'm going to close out of this and then head back to my staking options menu here. And if I go again, settings, options, staking options here, I'm going to again go to my stake point ID method, and right now prefix is selected. I can also select a suffix, so instead of having the stake hyphen before the point, I can have a hyphen stake after my point ID. So the last option here, and that is the default option here, is the next option. And what I do if I select that and hit OK, in the bottom left corner here, you can see that next ID is selected. So if I put my next ID is 1,000, and I again go to stake a point here, so I'm just going to change my staking mode again here to stake points. I'll stake 0.2, sure. And if I go to store this point again here, and again, just ignore my point staking results, I'm in the simulator, I can see that my point ID is selected as 1,000. So I had my point ID as 1,000, and if I store this point and go to store another one, the next point ID will be 1,001. And that is everything for today's video. That is how you change the point ID method of your staking options. And I would please ask you, if you have a moment, to hit that subscribe button down below. It really does help us out and helps me keep making these videos for you guys. And if you have any questions about anything you've seen in today's video, or any questions about anything on this YouTube channel, including our totally North American survey solution, please give us a call at 1-888-286-3204, or visit us on the web at bench-mark.ca.